MM, and I ask a lot of questions.
I'm Pia, and I don't have a filter.
We'll be asking questions you dare not ask.
And giving answers that might be a little too honest.
So listen up, come, and eavesdrop.
This is the Chismis Table. Okay, so this week we don't have a guest because we've run out of friends.
No, if our dogs could talk and our babies could talk, we would make them our own guests. But then again,
It's so hard, guys. But anyway, no, we do have friends. They're just all busy, but it's fine because I know you miss our own stories. I guess. I don't know.
all 57 of our subscribers, I'm sure they're very much interested in what's happening in our lives now as compared to our guests.
Because this is all
Anyway,
about us.
Yes, this is our show. So,
But in
Pia,
fairness, in between the last episode and today's episode, a lot of things have happened.
Yep.
In fairness to life.
in fairness to fate and in fairness to life. So speaking of, what was the biggest thing that happened for you?
Oh no, I don't have my ring, but I got engaged. I got engaged last Valentine's Day. It was so cheesy, but it worked. It wasn't a surprise. I mean, that the actual engagement was a or the proposal was a surprise, but we've been talking about it anyway.
Yeah.
So I was just really waiting for that moment to happen, and in all honesty, I didn't expect it to happen during Valentine's Day because um
As in, wala kang hunch at all?
I had, pero kasi he planned. So I've always been, ever since I arrived, I've always been asking for a beach picnic. Kasi dito, the beaches are very flat. Unlike in the Philippines, it depends, diba? It varies, the terrain varies. But most of the beaches here are very, very flat and they're empty, as in no, no rocks or whatever. So it's and the sand is very wide, so it's perfect for beach picnics. And you can't swim right now because even if it's hot in terms of like the sun, it's the water's super cold. So I've been asking for a beach picnic. And then a few days before Valentine's Day weekend, he asked for my parents' numbers again. So I told him before that before he proposes, he has to ask for permission from my parents. And he already had my parents' number, but I lost it somewhere. So the weekend before Valentine's Day, he asked for my parents' numbers, so that he could set up a Viber group so that he could ask for permission. That in itself is a whole different story, but in the end, they gave permission. And then, which I also found out eventually. So I already had a feeling that he was going to propose soon. And then the day before Valentine's Day or Valentine's weekend, he said that he was planning to go on a ferry ride to Egmont Key. It's an island nearby that's only accessible by boat, but it's like a 20-minute boat ride. And it's like an intramuros, but on an island. And it's completely wild, like no infrastructure whatsoever, but you can do whatever. You can swim, you can have a beach picnic and whatever. So when he said that, I already knew he was gonna propose during that trip.
He was gonna propose.
Yeah, but then that morning it was raining super, super, super hard. Because in Florida the weather is so unpredictable. Sometimes it's super hot, and then it's super cold, and then super hot all within one day. So it rained so hard and we had to cancel that trip. So we're like, okay, it's fine. So I thought, it's not gonna happen today. And then that same night we had our Valentine's Day night dinner. And it was, for both of us, our first ever Valentine's date. Ever in my life.
Seriously?
Because I've never had a proper boyfriend, right? Or a proper relationship. So nobody has ever taken me.
You had dates with me.
Okay,
Hindi mo yung counted.
Hindi yung counted. Okay,
Okay,
fine.
okay,
With a
okay.
man. With someone I will sleep with
Okay,
after.
okay. Okay, okay. Kinlarify lang natin. Okay. Yeah, Tom Ren? Never? Wow.
Never. Yeah, Tom also never.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was
Okay.
already very special. it
Hmm.
was it
Mm-mm.
was our
Yeah.
first Valentine's date together, and for in life. So
Mm,
that was
mm-mm.
good. And then across the restaurant where we were, there's a
Yeah.
pier. So para siyang Manila Bay,
Mm.
yung itsura, but much better, much cleaner. No
Hindi Dolomite,
garbage smells.
hindi Dolomite sand.
Hindi totoong sand siya.
Totoong sand siya.
Tsaka hindi siya amoy basura. Kaya mong
Uy, magbango na doon ngayon.
Talaga?
Daw, I
I don't
haven't
know.
been. I haven't seen Dolomite sand. Oh.
So yun, so naglakad na kami, we walked down, up and down the pier. Tapos ang ganda ng pier nila kasi parang there are
Mm.
pockets of what you call this, palm trees. Na
Nice.
parang may mga mini garden along the pier.
Mm.
So we would stop by those mini gardens every now and then we stopped by at one spot on our way back. Because we were just looking at the water, and I was just like leaning on the rail, and then he
Mm.
goes, "Hey."
Uy.
Oh, ganon na nga. Uy, uy. And then I looked over, and then he hugged my leg because he was kneeling already. He hugged my leg. And then I started crying and then laughing and then crying again and laughing. And he said he had a speech prepared, but he couldn't say it because I kept laughing the whole time. Pero nasabi naman niya yung, "Will you marry me?" And I said, "Of course." And then I was crying there. Tapos ang weird kasi yung mga taong dumadaan sa likod namin. But siguro naman na-gets nila kung anong nangyayari.
Yeah. Ano
that's
naman sila?
it.
Nag-clap naman sila or
Hindi.
what? Wala
No.
silang pake.
Wala.
Yes. Okay.
They're not that
Okay.
romantic. And that's it. And then we went out for a dinner date, and then I got home and I was already engaged.
Aww. Who would have
Super
thought,
weird.
no?
I know, right?
Who would
I
have
know.
thought you're gonna be engaged?
Ever. Diba? Ever.
I know, ever.
Like,
Yung boyfriend medyo, yes, you're gonna have a boyfriend. Pero like, na you're gonna settle down. Parang wow.
Grabe ka.
I never really expected you to be the marrying type of woman.
To be fair ako din.
Yan nga, kaya nga. And lahat ng talks natin. And yung funny story nito, so Pia told me this story immediately after what? Immediately after they got engaged.
Yeah.
And then, mas naiyak pa ako sa proposal niya.
Kaya sa proposal mo? Bakit hindi ka naiyak sa proposal mo?
Kasi si Gian nagjo-joke eh. So, alam mo, itutuloy na yung luha and then babalik. So, pero kasi it felt like yours. Sobrang iba yung story eh. Iba yung that it happened na yung love story niya ni Tom. Kaya I'm super, super really happy for Pia. That's why mas naiyak ako sa proposal.
And you know, it's sana lang, di ba, na parang when you get engaged, normally parang, okay, then we're gonna get married and then you're gonna live a different stage in your life. Pero, my God, I was looking up, I've always known we're gonna go through a fiance visa process. Pero shock, sobrang dami pala niya. It's
requirements.
Yeah, and dami niya requirements. And even after the fiance visa thing, all the things I have to do to establish myself as a resident is also a long process.
Yes.
So parang siyang never ending until siguro until I either have a green card or I am naturalized. Parang there are so many steps we have to go through just for me to be able to be here. And somehow I feel it's unfair. No, parang why does it have to be so
remember
hard?
Remember my friend who got married sa Texas?
Yeah. Oh nga, no? Yeah.
You know, but I could ask her if you want. Or baka
Did
pwede
you
natin siya
go?
i-guess.
Oh, pwede. Did
Mm.
she go fiance visa or anong
Yes.
fiance visa din?
Fiancé visa rin siya. Pero until, parang it took a year din eh, before she got her,
I know.
her green card. And then,
Mm.
wala, she was just at home the whole time. Hindi rin siya
Yeah.
nakahanap ng work because she couldn't work.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
it
yun yung
was a
worry
really
ko.
long process. Oo. Ngayon na lang siya mas like, move and work and
Mm.
all.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm lucky siguro because I have Rebel. So during the
Mm.
time that I don't have or I can't
Yes.
work here, I probably will be able to continue my employment with Rebel. Pero
True. True.
hirap, my God, I've been here for 4 months already, and doing graveyard shift is
Yeah.
horrible. As in, I can't do this forever. This is so hard. And parang ang hirap mag-switch ng weekend because syempre weekend it's normal time
Mm-mm.
because it's family
Mm-mm.
time, diba? But I sleep at 5 and I wake up at noon.
Mm.
So even if I don't have work, so Thursday night ko is already Friday
Yeah.
there. So technically
Yes.
by Thursday evening, I'm free. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like I can just switch to US time.
Mm,
So
mm.
I'm
It's not
with
like gising ka ulit, 'di ba?
and
Mm.
I'm with two boys, two
Yeah.
boys. Talagang energy level like
Baka two boys ka naman. Old naman yung isa na. Adult na yung
ah,
isa. Grown
mukha
up na
lang,
siya.
pero he's 12 in his brain.
Wait, so how did you tell your parents?
Oh, so it's very sweet. He
Mm.
my so my Tom sent that message to my mom, right, to my parents. And he was very scared because I've
Mm.
always told him about how difficult Asian parents can be,
Yeah.
and I understand how difficult it will be with for them because they've never met Tom. They've never
Mm.
even heard about him until I flew to Florida. And then
Okay,
suddenly I'm
okay.
getting married. So
Yeah.
in their head, everything is too quick because
Mabilis, yeah.
even if I've been with Tom for 2 years, they
Mm.
only knew about him 4 months ago. And then the
kung
first time
hindi,
they
kung hindi pa tayo nag-chismis table, you wouldn't be.
And then
Mm-hmm.
the first time they hear about or they hear from Tom is he's
Yes.
asking them for
To
my hand
marry.
in marriage. Diba? So nagigets ko naman kung
Ah,
bakit,
ah, ah.
alam mo yun, I'm sure
Yeah.
gulong-gulo sila sa nangyari.
Mm-mm,
But
mm-mm.
credit to my parents, and my friend Carol pointed this out because I didn't think of
Mm.
it, but she pointed out that it's such a huge step for my parents to have given me that trust.
Yes.
I'm sure they don't trust Tom because they don't know him, but to give
Mm-mm.
me that trust because no matter how traditional and conservative they are, they still said okay
Yeah.
to this very,
Yeah.
very unconventional setup. So that was
Mm-mm.
the Viber message. But Tom said that if they want a video call with us, then of course we're gonna set it up after we get engaged. So
Mm-mm.
syempre, they wanted a video call, so we did that kahapon. Yeah,
Mm.
yesterday. We did it
Kamusta?
yesterday. And I mean, overall, it was okay. But there were some
Okay.
moments that were kind of awkward. First of all, so yesterday was Saturday, and Friday night, Tom's mom had to be rushed to the hospital for some
Huh?
health issues. So,
Okay.
but she turned out okay. And
Okay.
but because we didn't want her to stay at home by herself, we told her
Mm.
she could come over on Saturday so that we could just watch her or just she can just hang out around here. But she came
Mm-hmm.
early. So
Okay.
she walked in on my parents' interview with Tom. So she could hear my parents grilling Tom and all the questions. And
Oh
parang,
my God.
diba? Na-imagine ko lang na parang, if I'm the mom and my son is being
Yeah.
grilled that way by my future
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
daughter-in-law's
mm-mm.
parents,
Yes.
diba? I mean, that's kind of like why? Why do they have to grill?
Parang you'd want to and you'd want to step in parang hello.
So kind of weird because she
Mm.
was just listening the whole time. And
She
then,
was
but
there the whole
she
time?
was there the whole time.
Okay.
Tapos, so that's the first awkward thing. And then the second was, Derek was just running around. And then he tripped. So during the interview, bigla siyang nadapa and his scream was like, so we had to pause it. Parang, I'm sorry, parents. There's a crying baby, and it
Oo.
took so long for him to calm down. But overall, it was okay. Typical parent questions. Um, and they asked about Tom's job
Mm.
and our plans.
Shit!
Mainly,
Meron
what
pa
our
palang
plan?
gano'n.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first part was us explaining kung ano yung plans namin moving forward. Um, so ito
Oo.
pa, my plan is for us to have a very small wedding ceremony. Not a church wedding, nothing grand, because again, di ba,
Mm.
hindi nga, ayoko nga
Mm.
ikasal, but I have to be.
Yeah.
So very, very small wedding ceremony, and then everyone who's willing to be here will just attend a dinner reception. And
Mm.
I don't expect it to be a big reception either kasi ang
Yeah.
layo ko eh.
Yeah.
Um, and swerte ni Tom, because if this had been in the Philippines, then it would have
Mm.
been a huge reception, because
True.
family
True.
pa lang, my God, 15 na
Oo.
siguro yun. And then I have my friends. So anyway, so that's the plan. But my parents, or specifically my mom, obviously want a Philippine church wedding. So that was her expectation. Na
Oh
after
my
all the
God.
ceremonies here, we would fly back to the Philippines and have
And do
a
a church.
Philippine wedding reception. Yeah, a church reception. Sorry, church
Okay,
wedding.
okay.
So
Mm.
unang tanong, are you a Catholic? He is. And then Tom goes, "Oh, I'm a
Buti
Catholic,
na
but
lang.
mm-hmm." But he said
Mm.
he's not a practicing Catholic. And then my
Yeah,
mom goes, "Oh, okay. I think that's okay."
yeah.
So anyway, alam ko na yun yung
Mm.
expectation, but I was ready. So I had a list of computations of all the things that we will have to pay for in the first 2 years.
Mm.
First 2 years meaning from the moment we file for the fiance visa
Yeah.
application all the way until
You move there.
flying here, getting
Oo.
married, and then getting the
Mm.
green card. Kasi
Mm.
until that green card happens, parang
Yeah.
hindi ako settled kasi I can't work,
Yeah,
I can't do
yeah.
whatever, right?
Yep.
So my projection is mga 2 to 2.5 years to complete the
Yeah.
entire process.
Mm.
And this also made me like, oh my god, my conservative estimate is we will be spending $25,000 in the first
Oh
two
my
years. That's
gosh.
1.25 million
Oh
pesos,
my god.
right? For the whole thing. That includes my like a car. So that will be partially funded naman when I sell my car in the Philippines.
Mm.
Pero kahit
Mm.
na, it's 1.25
Yeah, yeah.
million.
Yeah, that's still a huge amount of money.
Exactly.
True.
So, God forbid nobody supports us. We can afford it.
Okay.
But if on the third year we have to fly back to the Philippines and spend
Yeah, and then
another
spend for a
$25,000,
wedding. Oo.
that's gonna be impossible. So yun
Mm.
yung naging defense ko. So I had everything ready. I computed for everything, and
Mm.
as expected, tinanong nga ni Mama like what when is the church wedding going to be, and I told her na I don't plan for a church wedding because, and then in isa ko talaga,
Yeah,
this
yung
is
cost.
how much,
Oo.
this is how much,
Mm.
and then it turns out to be $25,000. Luckily, they didn't contest and they
Okay.
understood. And I think
Okay.
at the end of it, they just appreciated that we were not asking for money.
Mm.
I mean, I would
Mm.
love for them to give us the money, but I won't ask for it. Alam mo yun?
Yeah,
If they
yeah.
give it, sure, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
ask for anything.
Mm.
The one thing that really bothered me during the whole call was, so I explained the whole thing, and then
Mm.
my latest estimate is the wedding will happen in February 2023. If talagang sagad-sagad yung mga timeline, right? Because again, the challenge is you don't really know how long the
Yeah.
process goes, because sometimes it gets longer, sometimes it gets shorter. I don't know.
Mm.
So the latest I'm hoping is Feb 2023. So
Okay.
in essence, mga 2 years pa before we even get married. Oh God,
Mm.
ang tagal. So, so yon, diba? And then
Mm-mm.
my dad goes, okay, so that's 2 years. Well, a lot of things can happen from now until then. So we're like, haha, I know, blah, blah. And then Thomas saying, yeah, but definitely a lot of things can happen, but we've also been together for 2 years, long distance, and we've managed to really make everything work.
Mm-mm.
So, okay. And then throughout the whole call, my dad kept bringing it up na a lot of things can
Mm-mm.
happen, and he even said that he hasn't told his siblings that I'm engaged because who knows, who knows, and that things are indefinite and it's so far into the future, and there's no wedding yet. You alam mo yun,
Ah.
paulit-ulit, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what he says all the time.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
um and then turns out my mom hasn't told anyone
Anyone also.
either.
Uh-uh.
I mean, unfortunately for them, I've already announced it on Facebook, right? So all my cousins
Mm-mm.
know, and some
Yeah.
of my cousins have actually congratulated me and asked why my mom hasn't told the
Hasn't told, yeah.
siblings. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
And then so I brought it up and I said, I don't know why, but the cousins are asking, blah, blah, blah. And
Mm-mm.
again, the answer, well, it's already a long
Kasi
time
nga,
for
it's not
now.
sure.
Yeah. So that's the
Ah.
implication that because it's
Mm-mm.
such a long process, they don't think or they're not confident
That
that
it's gonna
everything will
happen.
push through. Isn't that
Mm.
weird?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Na parang weird na they gave you their blessing,
mm,
pero parang they're still unsure
I
na it's gonna
know that it's
happen.
real.
Yeah,
I have a feel. I don't know if it's they're not sure about the relationship or they're
yeah.
hoping that it's not gonna
That it's not
happen.
gonna work out.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about those things. I just didn't push
Mm-mm.
it.
Mm-mm.
Kasi, I mean, Tom's there, di ba? So parang,
Yeah.
out of respect to
Ang
him,
awkward naman. Yeah,
I
oo.
know, right? I don't know what that means. Um,
Oo.
but eventually, syempre napikon ako, di ba? So,
Yeah, syempre.
um, I forgot what my dad said in particular, but it was something to that effect again. So I said, I don't know what you're implying, but
Mm-mm.
but even if it's a long engagement, it is still an engagement.
Yeah, it is.
And
It
we're
has
gonna
to be
get it done,
celebrated. Ano ba?
right? Something, and we're
Oo.
gonna get it done. So,
Mm-mm.
um, either you give us the support or forever hold your peace. That's what I said. So parang
Feeling,
wala, di sila
mm.
sumagot. Okay lang siya.
Yeah.
But
Feeling ko kasi hindi pa nila nami-meet.
yeah,
Oo.
and weird eh. Kasi parang I
Oo.
thought it went well. Because ang haba na nung call
Mm.
before they started hinting at, oh, it's still so long.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oo.
Haba na, ang dami na nilang napag-usapan. And so Tom is an iron worker, so structural steel, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And my dad is an electrical engineer. So ang job naman niya is to wire the structures.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
out of all the people I've explained Tom's job to, my dad is the one who understands it the
Yeah.
best. Kasi pareho sila na
Mm.
industry. So they were
Yes.
talking about it, for quite some time. They were talking about the economy and
Mm.
blah. And then sabi pa niya na, don't come to the Philippines for business. Don't come here to stay because you're better off there. Parang ganon. Kasi nga mas maganda
Oo.
yung economy dito, blah, blah. So I
Yeah.
really thought na parang, okay, so they're happy that, Tom's a decent guy, he has a decent job, and then I'll be
Mm.
moving into a better economy. And then
Yes.
biglang,
May
well,
ganon.
ang dami pa naman pwede mangyari. So parang, pwisit.
No, feeling ko baka nga kailangan lang nilang ma-meet in person.
Mm.
Kasi now,
Yeah.
baka to them, parang Tom is just a unrealistic figure out there and then you flew all the way tapos hindi pa siya tangible
True.
for
True.
them. Diba?
I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I'm planning to
Yeah.
actually hindi ko alam if I'm gonna confront them about it when I go
Hmm.
home or parang i-let
Wag
go ko na
na.
lang tapos bahala na kung ano
Oo.
mangyari.
I-let go mo na lang siguro pero
But
they
I
have to
don't
meet Tom.
let go of things, Em. I
No,
know.
pero siguro you just have to change their minds.
How?
Kailangan mo lang gumawa ng way para mas ma-convince sila na this is really
Yeah.
a sure thing.
I just really need the Philippines to fix their coronavirus stuff. Actually, pati America, kasi America is shit with
Oo nga
coronavirus mitigation.
eh.
Para makapasok na si Tom, and then my parents
Yeah.
meet him, or all of you guys, you
Mm-mm.
met him na pala, and everyone
Yeah.
else meets him. And matapos na, di ba? Matapos na lahat ng speculation, matapos na lahat
Mm-mm.
ng doubt, and everyone just leaves us in
Yes.
peace because the process is already stressful as it is.
Yeah.
And I
Mm-mm.
don't need people to be, blah, blah,
To
blah,
be
blah,
like,
behind our
yeah.
backs.
I remember yun nga, yung friend ko who got married in Texas, that's what she did. Siyempre, yung parents niya nan super conservative. As in, general yung dad niya. Tapos yung mom niya, as in super, ano man tawag yan? Super yung Catholic faith talagang, sagrado katoliko. So, when they found out about the guy rin, so, they really had to meet the guy. So, parang ilang beses yun bumalik dito.
Yeah.
And then eventually, they gave their blessing. So, it's really,
Eventually, ganun kadaming beses siya bumalik.
mga twice?
Okay.
Twice ata or thrice. Oo, and then what they did, yung guy, dun niya pinastay sa house nila. So talagang mas nakilala nila the guy, and then yun, they saw naman na he's a good man and he's gonna take care of her. So
Yeah.
eventually, makukuha natin yung blessing na yan. Kami alala. 2023 pa naman.
May chance pa siyang bumalik.
We have 2 years. Oo. Pero typical sa moms talaga na they really want a church. A Filipino church wedding. As in talagang pinupush nila yun palagi.
Kasi, parang mas religious kasi talaga moms sa Philippines,
true.
right? I mean, dad ko naman, hindi niya yun hinanap. It's my mom. Ang hinanap ng dad ko is parang, so ano plano niyo? Sobrang
typical Asian parents.
Which is a stark difference from Tom's mom. Kasi wala siyang imek. Parang sinabi lang ni Tom na, una, I have a Filipino girlfriend. And ito lang, kasi she has been watching 90 Day Fiance for 6 years.
Until now ba? Meron ka din ba nun?
Until now. So, the first ever time Tom told his mom about me, ang comment ng mom niya is, are you sure she's not going after you for the green card? Again, which is understandable kasi that's what a lot of Filipinos do. And then, when we got engaged, we showed her the ring and she's like, oh good, congratulations, do you have a date? And I said, no, the fiance visa, blah blah blah. And then she's like, okay, just let me know. Tapos ang conversation. No interview. Hindi niya secretly kinausap si Tom about me or whatever. Wala. Tinanggap lang niya. But when she found out that Tom has a scheduled video call with my parents, dahil nga nanonood siya ng 90 Day Fiance, sabi niya kay Tom, what? Are they gonna ask you for a dowry?
For money?
Hindi naman.
Yung mga Pilipino.
I know, right? So sabi ko talaga, can you just tell her to stop watching that stupid show?
Oo nga. Masyado namang negative yung pagka-portray ng mga Filipino sa show na kasi yan. So, please, stop watching that show.
So sabi pa ng mommy niya na parang lahat kasi, or every couple that she's watched, parang ganon. Like, there's some form of payment. Tapos sabi niyo, Tom, syempre, ganun talaga. Kasi kung normal couple sila, hindi sila mapupunta sa show.
Totoo, kung boring yung story nila, diba?
So, dapat may mga dowry, ganyan. So, niloloko ni Tom na parang after the call, hiningan daw siya ng 2 baka. Excuse me, baka. I'm worth more than 2 cows.
Sana sinabi mo chickens.
Meron ako sa chicken. Mas mahal ang cow.
Or like 100 chickens. Panggawa ng chicken joy.
Shit. So yun. So that is the update up until yesterday.
At least you're engaged.
I know.
That's
weird,
the point.
Right?
Yeah. Who would have thought We'd be engaged at the same time.
Nakakatibay ng friendship. You know what? Last, ano,
Oh.
kailan ba to? I think it was sometime over the weekend then, or maybe Friday. So we
Mm.
didn't really explain to Tom's kid what happened
Mm-mm-mm.
because I mean he doesn't really. I didn't think he would understand.
Okay.
And then the ring was too big, so I don't wear it all
Yeah.
the time kasi baka mawala. So
Suotin mo, ano ka ba?
I mean
You have to wear it.
when
No,
we go out, I do
even nasa house
around
lang.
here.
Hello, it's here. Oo.
Ay,
I
kasi
wash the dishes, I wear it.
ay laki kasi, so it slips
Okay
off
lang yan.
very
Maluwag pa.
maluwag. So I still have to
Ipa-resize.
resize. We
Ipa-resize
will.
na. Okay.
I'll resize it in the Philippines kasi malamang mas mura dyan.
Ang tagal pa nun.
Anyway,
Pa-resize mo na dyan. Oh.
okay. So I bought parang a display thing para nakalagay siya doon. Kasi I mean, maganda yung box, but I want it like out in the open.
Yeah.
Hindi siya nakasara. So anyway, so nakita ni Derek, so he started playing with it. And then he said, "Where did you get this?" And I said, "Oh, that's from Daddy. It's a very, very special ring." And then he goes, "What makes it so special?" And I said, "It means that I can live here forever." And he asked, why can't you live forever now?" And I said,
Mm.
"Oh, we have to wait for me to get married. So that ring means that Daddy and I will get married." And then he got upset. He started
Why?
almost crying. And I said, "Don't you want me and Daddy to get married?"
Mm.
And he said, "No." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because then he won't have anybody." Isn't that so sad? I think it's because of his mom is married to someone else,
Yeah.
and she left him, right?
Yeah.
So it was a very weird conversation because and on that day, Derek, I was the one babysitting Derek. Usually he's
Mm-mm.
with his lola, pero nung day na yon nasa akin
Mm-mm.
siya just for that one day. Um, so I mean, first of all, I don't like kids, right? So when
Yeah.
this kind of complicated talks happen, I have no idea what to say.
What to say? Oh.
um, so I mean, I eventually I talked him out of the
Yeah.
sadness, and just explaining to him, parang isa-isa na parang, "Don't you want me to live
Mm-mm.
here forever?" Yes.
Mm.
Um, so that means if I get married, I'll be able to live here forever. Is that a good thing? He goes, "Yeah." So eventually, parang na-convince ko siya to be happy about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but the harder part there is apparently, alam mo yun, there are issues, I suppose, that he's thinking about that maybe he doesn't
Mm-mm.
understand.
Mm-mm.
But understandably, kasi nga, di ba, he is in a
Yeah, yeah,
complicated
yeah.
family
Yeah,
relationship.
the setup, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And siguro hindi rin niya gets what the
Mm.
relationships are because he has a mommy and a daddy who's
Yeah.
separated. The mommy has a
Another
husband,
family.
yeah, and
Yeah.
another family, and then I am here. So parang hindi niya siguro
Mm-mm.
alam kung ano mangyayari sa
Yeah.
kanya. But yeah, so I just told Tom about it and I let him handle the conversation. Anak niya yun eh, so
Ala.
baka siya. Pero yun, na ano ako talaga, na-shock ako kasi parang you never think that kids think about these things.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Apparently
interesting,
they
no?
do.
Parang you'd think na they don't understand what's happening, pero in
Mhm.
reality, they do. Kaya nga, I'm
Mhm.
very careful rin when si Candace, and I'm very careful rin with Candace kasi I'm sure she understands a lot of things
Yeah.
already. Pero it's so sad when when he said that he'd have nobody. Akala ko naman may happy ending naman yung story mo, hindi mo naman pala.
No, parang eventually, parang naano ko na, parang, I mean, we talked about it, like, well, parang piece by piece. And then eventually I said, parang my last question was, "So do you want me and Daddy to get married?" And he said yes. So,
Okay.
umuha naman siya eventually. But that was a
Mm-mm.
very very short conversation.
Yeah.
And it came from me. So parang, sino ba ako at this point, di ba? He had to hear it from someone like Tom, his dad, who will
Yeah.
for sure never leave him ever.
Yeah.
So they had that conversation naman after. Tapos, I wasn't around because I wanted the two of them to have like their own moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But I could hear him crying pa din. So I wasn't 100%
Ah,
sure what he was thinking or
thinking or
feeling
feeling,
during
yeah.
that conversation. But
Mm,
diba,
mm-mm.
there's this deep-seated worry apparently
Yeah, yeah, that he's gonna
na
be left.
he's gonna be
How
left
old na sila
alone.
ulit?
He just turned 4 in January.
Wow.
Kids
Wow,
talaga
for a 4-year-old,
nowadays,
ah. Oo.
are for some reason very advanced. Parang,
They are. So
parang,
I think ano eh, depende rin sa parenting eh. Kasi
mm,
there are some kids I've met,
mm-hmm,
like 3, 4 years old, they're not able to say how they feel, like
mm-hmm, that's true.
specifically. And then meron naman akong kilalang kid na 3-year-old, as in down to ano talagang specific na nafe-feel niya,
Mm,
nasasabi niya.
mm-mm,
So, iba-iba rin, depende rin sa ano, sa parenting.
yeah,
Yeah, pero ang galing for Derek to be able to say that at
yeah.
4 years old. So Tom is doing a good job.
I know, he is.
Mm-mm.
And hindi niya kasi binibaby si Derek. Like,
Mm.
I never heard him do baby talk. I've never
Mm-mm.
heard him parang, a lot of times kasi when kids do something wrong, for example,
Yeah, yeah.
parents try to pacify the child
Mm.
just to get the tantrum down or whatever.
Mm-mm.
And he never did it. And
Yeah.
parang recently lang I heard him talking to the mom why, and he was saying na if you do that you're like rewarding the bad
Yeah.
behavior,
Yes,
and the
yeah.
problem is he's really just a spoiled brat. So yeah, he's doing a very good job, and I'm
Oo.
just happy that's not my problem.
Parang pareho kami na magiging parenting style ni Tom.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Kasi
Mm.
you're also very
Kaya magkasundo kami.
mm mm.
Mm. Kasi Gian naman's the other way around.
How?
He's the spoiler. He's like,
Okay.
bawal umiyak. I'm like, hayaan mo siya umiyak. So, very ano. Pero kami ni Tom, I should learn from him. Gawin nga natin siyang guest, parenting.
Hindi pa siya ready. Hiyang-hiya siya.
Pwede yun yung topic natin, parenting.
Sabi ko
Ang hirap,
nga, yung ano
mm.
namin, sideline namin, maging YouTube star siya eh. Kaya lang ayaw niya
Yeah.
talaga. He doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't want to be famous and blah, blah, blah. So, if you want to be rich, then you need to be famous.
Yes, that's true. If you wanna be rich. Yeah, oo, totoo yan.
Mm-hmm.
Para sa next
But
guest natin, yeah.
apparently, he doesn't want it. So, you guys are just stuck with me.
And all our kwentos about Tom.
Mm-hmm. About Tom. How about
Anyway, ano pa
you?
ba?
What are
Ano
your
pa bang life
updates?
updates? Ako, I'm still here, still finding for the perfect yaya.
Ano ba nangyayari? Bakit parang lagi kang nawawala ng
Nakakaloka.
yaya?
I had 4 yayas since September. September ba? November, December. Yeah, since September. 4 na. So the first one stayed here for 4 months. And the second one, 1 week. The third one, 2 weeks. And then yung last one,
Ay!
1 week lang. I don't know, parang for some reason, first of all, lahat sila nakaka-receive ng ayuda
Oh,
from the
okay.
government. So parang
How
for
much
them,
is the ayuda?
I think 2,000.
Per
Parang
month?
ganun. Oo.
Hmm.
Parang
Okay.
2,000 or 4,000. I'm not sure how often then they receive it.
Mm.
Tapos nun, 'di ba, free na yung education sa Philippines. So
Mm-hmm.
they hardly pay for anything at all. So they would just need to think about their food and
Right.
their bills, yun na lang.
Mm.
So I think the work as a yaya or a helper is more of pandagdag na lang dun sa what they receive from the ayuda. So they go here and then parang ginagawa lang kaming field trip. The work is not
Excursion!
excursion.
Excursion! Kulang na lang yung black salvavidas sa
Oo.
pansol. Ganun.
Kasi the work is not hard at all. As in, they wake up at 6 a.m. They clean it's a small house. They take care of a baby. I'm here. They hardly carry candas ka at all. And then, the work ends what? 6 p.m., 7 p.m.? Kasi hindi naman sila nagpapatulog kay Candace. Ako rin lahat, nagpapatulog, nag-feed, nagpapaligo, everything. So, all they do is take care of her while I'm at work, which is also here. So, it's, it's really super, super good, super dali. Like, all of them said na this has been their lightest workload ever. So,
Then
I
why do
really
they
wonder,
leave?
yun nga, and then I really wonder why all of a sudden they have family issues. Sometimes the thing pa with them, hindi mo na alam if you'll believe their reasons for leaving or nagdadahilan na lang sila. So after the first one stayed for 4 months, okay sana siya. But since she had issues also, so she didn't come back. Tapos the second one, after her, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna invest any more of my precious time getting to know all of these yayas. Kasi sayang mag-invest ka ng time to get to know them, to talk to them, tapos biglang aalis rin sila after a week or two, diba? So, after nun, wala na akong pakialam. So, if you go, okay, bye. Dati nakikipagkwentuhan pa ako and all. As in, chinichika ko pa. Ngayon, ewan ko, naging bitter na.
Kaya sila umaalis, pang sungit naman ito.
Hindi ko na hindi naman ako masungit. So, hindi ko na lang sila kinakausap ko pa rin, pero hindi na tulad nung before na talagang chinichika-chika mo. So, yan ang I think it's a forever mommy issue here in the Philippines. Tapos when I would post na stories about si Candace na walang yaya, I would always get a reply from another mom na may assurance siyang ganon or like they've been through like 8 yayas already.
Oh gosh.
Sayang talaga, we should have started like a daycare business before the pandemic, no? Or after the pandemic. Let's think about that. Let's have that.
Wala
Pero mahirap eh.
Pero di ba kasi what do you call that? Manpower agencies? Wala bang ganon?
Meron din naman. We haven't tried. Baka for the next one, we're gonna get na from. Meron kaming darating today, so let's see kung gaano siya katagal.
Saan ka kumukuha? Alam mo, I'm surprised that you always find a replacement. Kasi what I always see is people have no idea where to find ayaya at all. Pero ikaw lagi kang replacement.
Yung may na-refer sa akin na parang freelance agent siya.
Tagahanap ng yaya.
And then you just pay her to. Marami siyang contacts. Para siyang human trafficker. Oh my God. Human trafficker na Pero decent work naman. So, hindi naman siya makukulong.
Legal naman.
Hindi lang siya registered.
Kasi, hindi siya legal.
Hindi siya legal. Pero anyway, so naghahanap siya for me. And then she replaces every time aalis. So, at least meron. And then, hindi na siya nag-charge kapag umalis.
Talaga? Okay. So, ano yung minimum time niya?
2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Pero feeling ko nga rin minsan scam eh.
Yeah, kasi diba? What if may roster lang siya ng paikot-ikot na yaya?
Totoo. And then, I pay her every 3 months para... Yeah. So,
wala, hindi naman sa tumagal 1 week.
Yun nga eh. Wala rin. Tignan natin if magsistay tong bago. If
sobrang crucial ba for you to have a yaya?
Ako, oo. Right now. Kasi Imprint is moving to a bigger area. Which is in Antipolo.
Nice.
So, from Muntinlupa, I moved to Quezon City, and then Marikina, and now Antipolo. So, palayo ko ng palayo. Next time, nasa Quezon na ako.
But that means business is doing well for Gian.
Yes.
For you guys. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So, I really need a help.
How did it get better when it's a pandemic? Like, what?
Yun nga eh. Interesting nga, no?
People don't go anywhere.
You know what? Ano ba kami? Kasi we don't just carry our own line eh. We also resell helmets.
So dumami yung nagmotor.
Dumaming product line. And then dumami nagmomotor. So, ayan, madami. Plus, ewan ko, naging collector's item yung mga jerseys. So, there would be clients na every time we would come out with a new design, talagang they would buy. Plus, sige, hindi ko
How
isi-save to na
does
to
he?
for ano.
I don't
I-guess,
get it.
i-guess natin si Gia next time. So,
Yeah, I
she'll
really
talk
wanna
about
know.
all of these things. Kasi even ako na-shocker na ako with the what's happening in the business.
How long has it been
Mm.
up?
2013. So, almost 8 years na. Yeah.
That's
Tagal na rin.
short.
That's short
Diba?
ba?
For the business to be a collector's item.
Really?
For that big. Galing.
Galing. Kasi,
Ang gusto ko
rich
talagang
nga kasi
malaman
siya
yung
eh.
mga artista, clients niya.
Sige, next time. Ano yan? Next guest natin. Promise. Lalagay natin siya dito. Baka yun pa yung mag-highest views, nakakainis. Nakakainis. Kasi ngayon, pag nagpi-Facebook live siya, ang dami-dami niyang viewers.
Ganon?
Oo.
How? Why doesn't he help us?
Kailangan natin ng niche market.
Ayun lang. Sabi nga ni Migor, our last guest, sabi ko sa kanya, I'm so proud of how he explained everything about the gay community because it sounded so well thought of, well spoken, ganyan. Tapos sabi niya, iba kasi yung market natin, we're ANC, not ABS.
Shit. Paano tayo magkaka-viewers dyan?
One day, we'll get our big break and one day it will happen. Ilalagay ko si Tom in front of the camera, naked.
May abs lang. Ay, may mga topic naman tayo na na mag-viral. Ayaw lang natin ilabas pa.
Okay, wow.
Mga, yan, stuff to, watch out for. Ayun.
Well, anyway, so that is what has happened the last few weeks. I hope it's entertaining for you guys.
The Chismis Table.